35. We were talking about when you all live on King and I live on King. Are we any closer to getting SB online?
What's next? 1, 2, 3.
She's on there.
I thought it was just you were supposed to be on the TV blog, but not there. And then you could have just used the phone.
Ward 3, SB computers.
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's, you got to swipe one way.
Call this special meeting of the city council order. At the swearing in of Rick Fader to the Port City Council. Swearing in will be done by Chief Randy Clay. So we go ahead and proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Rick, would you like to introduce your family before we get started?
Yep, this is my daughter Kaylee, my wife Teresa, my son Caden, my daughter Addison, and my oldest daughter Ashley.
Hey, he did good. He got everybody's name right, didn't he? Well, it's
Last
a-
name's Favors.
Well, it's a great honor that
Thank you, sir.
you've allowed me to swear you in, Rick. I've worked with you for many years, and you've retired and gone on to bigger, better things. But thank you for allowing me this privilege. So if you'll repeat after me, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Rick Favors,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
that I have not paid or contributed,
that I have not paid or contributed,
either directly or indirectly,
either directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
to procure my nomination or election,
to procure my nomination or election,
except for necessary and proper expenses
except for necessary and proper expenses
expressly authorized by law,
expressly authorized by law,
that I have not knowingly
that I have not knowingly
violated any election law of the state,
violated any
election law of the
election
state,
law of the state,
or procured it to be done by others
or to procure it to be done by others
in my behalf,
in my behalf,
that I will not knowingly receive,
that I will not knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
for the performance
for the performance
or non-performance
or non-performance
of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
or any act or duty pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law,
other than the compensation allowed by law,
and I further swear
and I further swear
that I will not receive,
that I will not receive,
use, or travel upon any free pass
use, or travel upon any free pass
or on free transportation during my term of office.
or on free transportation
During my term
during
of
my
office.
term in office.
Congratulations, Councilman
Thank you,
Favors.
sir.
All right, good job.
Appreciate you. Love you guys.
You all come up and get a picture? You want to get a picture with his family? All right, come on up, guys.
Social distance. She's going to have a wide camera.
Families don't have to social distance.
They don't. If we got it, we all got it, huh?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Sure.
Ready? 1, 2.
Thank you.
Can we
All right.
take one on our phone?
Well, she'll send,
Yes.
you'll send those direct. Will you send those direct?
Well, I was gonna put them on Facebook, but I can send it to them.
Will you send it to me? Oh, yeah, it's on Facebook.
Yeah,
You
I
can
mean,
probably
I'll-
copy it from, or just save it from Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you need to have resolutions.
Okay.
Congratulations, Rick, and welcome. Thank you. Now, in this line, we want to swear in Rick Byrne, Mr. Reed.
I think we can do it both at the same time.
We've already done this once before. Well, you might have.
I'm trying to decide what's on your map.
Where's Heather? Heather, isn't that right? We can do these together.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, are we ready?
Yep. They won't know if we're saying anything as far as Bowser covered.
We're not gonna know who's talking. All right, raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Pat Byrne,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
and will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity,
that I have not paid or contributed,
that I have not paid or contributed,
either directly or indirectly,
either directly or indirectly,
any money or valuable thing
any money or valuable thing
to procure my nomination or election,
to procure my nomination or election,
except for necessary and proper expenses
except for necessary and proper expenses
expressly authorized by law,
expressly authorized by law,
that I have not knowingly
that I have not knowingly
violated any election law of the state,
violated any election law of the state,
or procured it to be done by others in my behalf,
or procured it to be done by others in my behalf,
that I will not knowingly receive directly or indirectly
that I will not knowingly receive directly or indirectly
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
And I further swear that I will not receive,
And I further swear that I will not receive,
use, or travel upon any free pass
use, or travel upon any free pass
or on free transportation during my term of office.
or on free transportation during the term of office.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for doing it.
Yep, good job. Well done.
We've never done that before, Jill.
Oh, we don't have to public.
I've never been at the ceremonies where we've done motions and stuff for swearing in.
It's a discussion item that has to be done like a regular discussion item.
Sarah, do I give these to you? Or to Gil?
Okay.
This is a special meeting being concluded. We're
Not yet.
adjourned. I call the order regular.
Hold on, Mayor.
We got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
We had a procedural discussion. We're good. Sorry.
Bill Johnson will recognize you and bring it to the attention of council, and then their mic will be on you, and you'll be allowed to speak. Let me reiterate the rules of decorum. Just because you're at home on your computer does not mean you can act a fool. So if in fact you step outside those rules, you will be muted, and the rest of your seriousness will not be heard by us. This is going to be a different course, so bear with us and we'll try to get through this. Again, I call it meeting to order. We ask that Assistant City Manager Ron Sullivan offer the invitation. He will stand to the pledge of allegiance. One.
Esty, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
I ask you about me, please. Gracious Lord, we ask your blessing upon this evening. Father, we thank you so much for this occasion. Father, we thank you for these 3 men who were sworn in tonight and will justice the earth. Father, we ask your blessing upon all 3 of them in this, while they serve our city, along with the rest of this council. Father, we ask the decisions made tonight be for the good of the whole, that be made with your discernment and your wisdom. Thank you for those who are guarding our country all over the world tonight. Father, thank you for the first responders, healthcare workers, those who are attending to the sick and ailing tonight. Give them strength and courage. Give them peace and comfort. Thank you for your Son, Jesus, the love that binds us all together. It's in Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen.
Please stand with me in one movement to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
with them and spray this disinfectant throughout City Hall Just a short synopsis of it, it's 500 parts per million, which would instantaneously kill the coronavirus and break it down. So we were excited. We had it and decided we needed to share with others in the city so that we're all safe and protected during this time.
Okay. Change number 3. Now, ladies and gentlemen, move into our consent agenda. These items are placed on the consent agenda so that the council, by unanimous consent, can approve routine agenda items by one motion. If any item proposed does not meet with the approval of all council members or members of the audience wishing to discuss an item, it will be removed and heard in regular order. The chair would entertain a motion to proceed with the consent agenda, removing item number 8 for no action. Yes, ma'am. Okay, when you make a motion, state your name when you make the motion and when you second it. So I have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item number 8 and pull that and take no action on it. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? We will do a roll call vote, so Ward 1, absent. Ward 2? Yes. Ward 3? Can we get Ward 3 on board? Oh, I don't have her.
You can see that she's pushing the button and her mic is turning green.
Your mic is.
Ward 4?
Yes.
Ward 5?
Yes.
Ward 6? Yes. The motion passes. The consent agenda is approved. We now move into our discussion items. Discussion item number 1. We did forget one. We need to go back and amend that motion to include the addendum, which is consent item number 12.
It was already included.
It was already included?
Yeah, we're good.
See what happens when you don't sit next to me.
All right, so on to discussion item 1.
Discussion item number 1.
All right, discussion item number 1, discussion and consideration to approve an ordinance amending the Midwest City Municipal Code, Chapter 43, Water, Sewer. However, the penalties.
And this will sunset at the end of
The 6 cycles.
the 6 cycles.
Correct, covers the 6 cycles.
6 cycles is one.
Okay, I do need to remind council members to please state your name when you start to discuss an item. Thank you for your cooperation.
Mayor, don't forget to see if Jill.
I'm the mayor. Jill, do we have any public? None? Matt the mayor. So, we have, the chair would entertain a motion to approve.
This is Councilman Reed to make a motion to approve.
Councilman Byrne makes a motion, second. I think Christine was. Okay, Christine did. And Christine, yeah, Christine was in on the second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Ward 1 is absent. Ward 2?
Yes.
Ward 3? Did she say yes? Okay. I'm not hearing her. Ward 4?
Yes.
Ward 5? Ward 6?
Yes.
Chair would entertain a motion for to declare an emergency on this particular ordinance.
Councilman Byrne, make a motion to approve as emergency. SB second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second on the emergency. Any further discussion? Ward 2?
Yes.
Ward 3? Ward 4?
Yes.
Ward 5? Ward 6?
Yes.
Mayor votes yes, emergency passes and goes into effect immediately. Second discussion item.
Discussion and consideration of approving task order number 2 with C.H. Guernsey and Company in an amount not to exceed $387,000 for the development of construction document CDs related to the 2018 Moving Midwest City Forward bond issue, multi-purpose sports complex located in the 9200 through 9400 blocks of Southeast 29th Street in Oklahoma City. Bob Sullivan will answer any questions.
So one comment I want to make is we're going through with some, what seem to be some relatively severe economic times where cities are probably going to have to cut. This is from a pot of money that is paid for out of the jail bond that was approved by the voters in 2018. This money is something that we have to spend on the projects as they are. We have bondholders that we are responsible for. So while other things are closed down, we don't have a choice as a city but to expend this dollars the way that we told the bondholders of the banks that we would. So I just wanted to make that known that all the residents out there,
Press your space bar.
I am pressing my space bar.
Okay, sorry.
I wanted to make it known to all the residents out there that this money was voted on and funded before any of this happens, and we don't have a choice but to spend it how we are set forth in the voters we will.
Was that Councilmember Reed making those statements?
Pretty sure it was.
Check the mail. Yeah.
Well, this is the mayor, and that's a very good point. This is money we do have to expend to go forward on that project, and it's amount of money that we already have budgeted for that. So with that being said, is there any further discussion on this item? Chair would entertain a motion to approve.
Councilman Byrne, I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second. Ward 2.
Second.
I thought it was
Christine. I think Christine.
I tell you for what it's worth, we're having a hard time hearing them upstairs.
Do you want to take a recess for a second?
Should we just bring them down here with masks? They all have masks on.
They're can't hear us. Can we call a recess real quick?
Let's go through with the vote, and then we'll call recess and get these issues straightened out.
Exactly.
I'm sorry?
There's a question about what I said.
Oh. Okay, let's recess for 5 minutes, try to get these issues straightened out. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll recess for 5 minutes.
Can we not bring this?
We're ready. Into session, and we will continue with discussion on item number 2. And I believe that's Mr. Sullivan's item.
Mr. Sullivan, we had left it at you were going to take questions on this item.
And do I need to repeat?
Christine had a question, I believe.
I think, can we let Sean restate what he had really said? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, this is Councilman Reed, Ward 4. What I had said is, while we're going through,
Are you pushing the mic?
it's on, it's green. Hello?
There.
I'm ready to get these things off. Anyway, what I was saying is, discussion item 2, the $387,000 is from bond money that was voted on by the citizens of Midwest City in 2018. We have sold these bonds off to banks who actually sold those off to individual investors. We have that money and we have a duty and a legal requirement to do with the funds like we told the bondholders that we would do. So even though the economy is having trouble right now and might be for the short term, when you see these projects being done, these are projects that have been funded, paid for, and we don't have any option other than to go forward with them. I just wanted to make that clear because it is going to look like there's some stuff that's being done while we're probably having to look at some budgetary cuts, hopefully short term. So when you see these being done, realize that this is something that we are required by law to follow the bonds that we sold to the bondholders.
And they were voted on by the people
Correct.
of
And
Midwest
voted on.
City.
Sean, could you identify yourself?
You're not used to me listening for 1 second.
Okay, with that being said, is there any further discussion on a particular item? Chair to entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
This is Councilman Byrne, motion to second on that.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Roll.
Opposed? No, I'm sorry.
Please identify who made the motion and then proceed with the roll call vote.
Councilwoman Christine made the motion.
And Councilman Burns made the second. And I'm sorry, we do need to do a roll call vote. We'll start with Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4,
Yes.
Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6.
Yes.
Mayor is yes. The measure passes. Move on to discussion item number 3.
Discussion item number 3, discussion and consideration of appointing a council member to replace Jeff Moore on the Capital Projects Council Committee for as long as the appointee is in office or until such time as the committee is dissolved.
This is Councilman Byrne, make a motion to appoint Rick Favors.
This is Councilman Reed, make a second to that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? And you cannot say no.
So I can't vote, correct?
You can't vote.
Thank you.
But
Thank
we
you.
only meet 3 times a week on this committee.
Is it
Okay.
too late to back out yet?
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4,
Yes.
Ward 5,
Yes.
and the mayor votes yes. Thank you for your service.
This is a great time in your history, your very first committee appointment. Wait, there'll be 2 more.
Discussion item number 4.
Discussion item number 4, discussion and consideration of appointing a council member to replace Jeff Moore on the Residential Parking Restrictions Committee for as long as the appointee is in office or until such time as the committee is dissolved.
I make a motion, this is Sean Reed, Ward 4. I make a motion to appoint Rick Favors, new
This is-
Ward 6 councilman, to this committee.
This is Ward 2. I make a second that Rick Favors is a good candidate for that.
Is there any further discussion? I have a motion and a second.
I would like to know if he accepted.
He doesn't have a choice. I have a motion and a second. Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4,
Yes.
Ward 5.
Yes, did you accept, Rick?
Yes, ma'am, I'll accept.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That's
I
not an
vote.
option, Ward 5.
Nobody asked.
The mayor votes yes, and it passes. At least we can have fun up here. Next discussion item, Mr. Lyon.
Discussion, item number 5, discussion and consideration of appointing a council member to replace Jeff Moore on the Subdivision Regulations and Zoning Ordinance Committee for as long as the appointee is in office or until such time as the committee is dissolved.
This is Ward 3, Councilwoman Bowen. Move to accept, to nominate Mr. Favors for that position.
It's Councilman Byrne, I second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4,
Yes.
Ward 5.
Yes, do you accept, Rick?
That's not an option, Ward 5. And the mayor votes yes. Measure passes. You got slammed, Mr. Favors. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone, I'll remember that.
You got to spread it around, though, because there was 3 of us.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we move into the new business public discussion of our agenda. Does anyone have anything to bring before the Midwest City Council? Our host is indicating that we have no hands up and no one in the audience wishes to come forward. With that being said, we are hereby adjourned. I'm going to now call the Midwest City Memorial Hospital Authority, call it to order. We do have a consent agenda. These items are placed on the consent agenda so the trustees, by unanimous consent, can approve routine agenda items by one motion. If any one item proposed does not meet with the approval of all trustees or members of the audience wish to discuss an item, it will be removed and heard in regular order. Chair to entertain a motion.
Councilman Byrne, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Councilwoman Christine, second. Ward 5.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4,
Yes.
Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6.
Yes.
Mayor votes yes, motion passes. We do have one discussion item. Mr. Lyons?
Discussion item C1, discussion and consideration of action to reallocate assets, change fund managers, or make changes in the statement of investment policy guidelines and objectives. No actions needed.
No actions needed on discussion item. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we move into the new business public discussion of our agenda. Does anybody have anything to bring before the authority? The host is indicating no one in the audience and no one in our physical audience. Therefore, we are hereby adjourned. And that concludes our first video conferencing council. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending. Good night.